All righty. Yep, I got it now at the water. I appreciate it.
Yeah, sir. That's all.
All right, shalom, no question.
So,
All right, shalom, Israel, blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. We are here again, I.S.U.P.K, here to teach the truth, let you know the truth. Because in the Christian church, the Christian church lied to you. The Christian church told you that your brother is anybody and everybody, and that is not the case. Your brother is only your people, is only blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. You understand? The people, the 12 lost tribes of Israel. That's what the Bible concludes of, and that's what the Bible it's all about. The only is possible the stream was ended or deleted on Facebook. We'll keep trying to let you know. You understand? Oh my goodness. So yeah, blacks and Latinos and Native Indians, this book is about you. This book is about you, and you must come back to the lost sheep of the house. You must come back to the Lord if you are part of the lost sheep of the house of Israel. If your father is black, Latino, and Native Indian, this book is about you. You understand? And we're gonna get it. We're gonna get into the Bible, of what we need to do. Because like I said, the Christian church lied to you. The Christian church told you that, salvation is for everybody. And that's not the case. That's not the case at all. So let me get Second Chronicles 15:3 real quick. You understand? Bear with me. We're gonna get Second Chronicles chapter 15 verse 3. We're gonna get Second Chronicles. You understand? All right. Second Chronicles chapter 15 verse 3. Now for a long season Israel has been without the true God. You understand? See, we've been without the true God. Shalom, no Christ. We've been without a true God. You think that you know God. Listen, if you in that Christian church, you don't know God. It's impossible for you to know God if you in that Christian church, because the Christian church told you that God love everybody. God don't love everybody. He only love his kids. He only love the people that he made the covenant with. That's who he loved. He don't love every goddamn body. That's not in the Bible. Where is it at in the Bible that he said he loved everybody? Because I can show you in the Bible that he don't love everybody, and he counted them as nothing. Now that's love. To only love us. That's love. Because how do you know? Listen, if I love everybody, how do I know that you love me? You can't truly love something. You have to dislike or don't care for something else to either love something. You know what I mean? Because how would you know that you truly love it? So how would you know that God loves you if he loved everybody? This is how you know that he loves us. Because he don't care for the other nations. He don't care for other nations. And that's a fact. Like if your mom and dad loved everybody on the block, how do you truly know that they love you? You wouldn't know. You understand? And the reason why the children of Israel knew that God loves them and only them is because of the things that they have done for us. But somewhere down the line, we wanted to love every other nation, and we lost that. We wanted to sin, so we lost that love that the Most High was giving us. You understand? But I don't want to get too far off track. This book is about love and brotherhood, so that's why I went into that. But for a long season, Israel has been without a true God. So you don't know who your neighbor is. You don't know the truth about the Bible. Because for a long season, Israel been without the God, has been without the true God, and without a teaching priest, and without law. Israel for a long time been without law. the Christian church tell you to eat pork, shrimp, lobster, and you wonder why, you got health problems. You wonder why, the Lord don't hear you. The Lord don't hear your prayer. You've been lied to. You've been lied to so much that you think the Lord is answering your prayer when you go to work and get money. You just going to work and getting money. That's the Lord didn't do that for you. You saying you think the Lord answer your prayer. Listen, you listen to the Christian church. The Christian church tell you about to get a blessing. Listen, the Christian church do this every year, right? They know the kids about to go to school and get money. You know what I mean? So guess what he's going to say? He's going to be like, yeah, you about to get a lot of money. You about to come across some money, this and that, because the preachers are pimps. They go where the money at. They know when you about to get some money, so they want to talk about that so you can hand them money. You know what I mean? Shalom, Lord Christ. So they can hand you money. So you can hand them money. You've been played. You've been without a true priest. You've been without a true prophet. You know what I mean? And the only way that you can learn the truth is to come to the I.S.U.P.K. Learn the truth under us. You understand? So we're going to get into it. Brotherhood, you must have brotherhood. And if you don't, which Christians don't have brotherhood, they don't love the Lord. They think they do, but they don't. So we're going to get into it. We're going to go to Luke. No, we're going to go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 6, verse 7. About brotherhood and, and a friend, and you must prove a friend. This is what this scripture is talking about. You understand? So we're going to get into it. If you don't got the Apocrypha, you must get it. It is a part of the Bible, but they took it out. You understand? Ecclesiasticus chapter 6, verse 7. All right. If thou wouldest, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 6, verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. You must prove a friend, man. And you, blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, we don't prove our friends enough. We think our friends are the ones that we do crime with. No, that's just your accomplice in crime. How do you know that? Because when you on that stand, they 9 times out of 10 they snitch on you. That's not a friend. Let me tell you YN something, man. YNs, let me tell you something. Those people that you going around beating up people and committing homicides with, they are not your friend. They are not your brother. You know what I mean? Listen, you must get a righteous brother. You must get a righteous friend or whatnot. Don't get a person that's gonna commit all type of evils. Listen, because how do you know they're gonna commit that evil on you one day? You gotta prove a friend. And how do you prove a friend? It takes time. When you going through some things, see if he's still gonna be around. Prove a friend first before you credit him, man. Before you willing to lay down your life for him, man. Prove a friend. You understand? Verse 8. For some man is a friend for his own occasion. Yeah, he a friend for his own occasion. It benefits him. It benefits him from being to be your friend. Maybe you got money. Maybe you always got the nice weed. Maybe you got the the nice clothes that he borrowed. Maybe he trying to sleep with your sister or sleep with your girl or something like that. You don't know that because you haven't tried that friend. You haven't known him. You must try him and see if he's a friend. For some man is a friend for his own occasion and will not abide in the day of trouble. They don't abide in the day of trouble. And once again, why you think when you get locked up for doing a crime with your so-called friend, or gang, you know what I mean? Then you in jail and they out and they sleeping with your girl. That's what happens. Most of 9 times out of 10. Because they're not your friend. Verse 9, and there is a friend who, being turned to enmity and strife, will discover thy reproach. You understand? So yeah, that's the end of that one right there, right? So you got to prove a friend, man. Don't just say that he's a friend and not prove it. You know, he got to prove himself. And like I said, only time will tell. Also, when you get a wife, you must prove that wife, and vice versa. You want to get a good man, you sisters out there, you just, you know, you want a good man, but you haven't really, you know, sat down and realized who he is, because because he looks so good, you got to have him, and you got to, you know, just your emotions overshadows the what that man is. He's an absolutely monster, but you're gonna marry him because he's 6 feet tall and look good or got money. And you brothers, you know, you're gonna marry this sister because she got a big behind and pretty. You know what I mean? You better prove her. You know what I mean? You better, you know, and once again, that takes time too. I'm gonna keep it short. If they don't want to serve the Lord, they wicked as hell. Especially in these times. They don't want to serve the Lord. If they running from the Bible and don't want to do what the Lord say, they wicked. You know what I mean? They wicked as hell. So let me get I'm gonna get Luke 23 verse 34. All right, we're gonna get that. Luke 23 verse 23 and 34. You know what I mean? 23 and 34. Then said, yeah, Jesus, Father, okay, to get context of it, this is what Christ was doing. Christ, of course, everybody knows that he died for our sins. Only the Lord's chosen people, only blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. He died for them, right? So, you know, he's on the cross. You know, the children of Israel, we denied Christ. We didn't accept him as our king. So we told the Pharisees that's and pretty much the Romans, which was in charge of Israel and over us at the time, you know, told them, you know, that, hey, that's not our king. He, you know, unalive this man, get this man killed. You know what I mean? Because he, you know, ain't our king. And he's saying that he's our king. And that's a death sentence if you lie and say that you Jesus Christ and you're not, and our king and you're not, you know. So they got the real Jesus Christ unalived, you know, and you know, so he's on the cross or whatnot, and you know, and this is what he says: after all what he did for you, then you turned around and sold him out, you know, and he's getting unalived. You know what I mean? He's getting killed because of us, because of what we did. The children of Israel sold him out. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna read verse 33. And when they were come to the place which is called Calvary, they crucified him, and the malefactors, one on the right hand and the other on the left. Then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. You know what I mean? So that's what the Lord said. As he taken his couple of last breaths, he said, this is what he all thought about. He thought about his brothers, his sisters, you know what I mean? His people. He thought about his people. And although we did him wrong, he said, forgive them. They know not what they do. And let me tell you Christians something. You Christians love to say God died for our sins and things like that. But when we out on the corner, you want to disprove us that God only loves us. You want to say, well, y'all didn't, you know, y'all killed Christ. The Jews killed Christ, this and that, woo-de-woo. And it's like, don't you know that he forgave us for that? But you so stuck on wanting everybody else to be saved and you want to, this is what black people love to do. Black people, black Christians especially, they want to be a second. They want to be under. We do that so much. I'm gonna get into it. We do this so much. When we ruled by somebody, we love it there. Let that sizzle in your spirit. When we're ruled by people, we love it there. We have no problem being ruled. You know why? Because you're a sheep, and you just don't know who's your master. You don't know who's your crib. Let me get that, matter of fact. That's where you don't know. You don't know who's your master. You don't know you don't know where your crib is at. You know what I mean? Let that sizzle in your spirit. You know? Let me get that. Hold up, bear with me. King James Version. Let me get this real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master crib. But Israel doth not know. My people did not consider. You don't even consider, man. The ox know his owner, and the ass his master crib. The ass, which is a donkey, know where his crib is at. You don't know where your house at. You don't know where your home at. And the ox knoweth his owner. The ox know his owner who take care of him, but you don't. These are one of the two dumbest animals. You know. So you beneath one of the two dumbest animals. That's who you beneath, because you don't know the truth. You don't know who your father is, who your crib is. Let me tell you, Yahweh is your father, and your crib is Israel. That's our home. Of course, it's been occupied by heathens, and it will be built back up. You understand? By them. That's another story, though. So, he forgave us. Christ forgave us. You understand? Christ, that's what Christ did. Christ forgave blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians for not believing in him, for not, serving him, for not wanting him to be king over us. And you only got a short time to get it together. And if you don't want him, and if you do it again, listen, off with your head, because that's called treason. If he gave your last treason, he ain't gonna forgive this treason. It's either you with the king or you not. You understand? Let's get it. So yeah. Once again, so Christ on the cross, and he said he forgive. This is another religion of tears. What do you truly mean by that, Jason? So once again, we got to realize that Christ forgave us for selling them out. And he wasn't selfish. He wasn't selfish. Christ wasn't selfish. He still thought about us and wanting us to be safe. You don't do that, however. Somebody do you wrong, you want to unalive them. You pray that they, you pray that they you pray that they get unalived. You pray that they die. That's what you do. You don't want to forgive your people. But you know what's crazy with you Christians and everybody that's not in I.S.U.P.K? You love the white team man. You love the white man so much, that you want to get rid of your people. You say, oh, black people did me wrong. Well, white people did you wrong too. And they systematically oppressing you. Black people can't systematically oppress you. You don't even realize you being oppressed because they doing it behind closed doors. And you can't go anywhere in life. Your people can't get ahead in life because the white man, which is Esau, you understand, causing you to fail. But you forgive them. You forgive all of them. And you love them more than you love your people. And you love them more than you love your people. You understand? And that's a crying shame. And you should not do that. You should not do that. Hold on. Shalom, okay. What's up, Pop? I'm teaching class right now. All right, bet. When I'm done, I'll give you a call. All right, no sweat. So yeah, you don't want to you love them. You love them so much. You understand that you love them so much. You hate your people. Catholic, Christian is not is you. What? Listen, if you ain't in the I.S.U.P.K, you're a Christian. I'm sorry to tell you, Jason. I bet you love all people. Jason, do you love all people? I bet you do. All right. So let's get it. Let's get so like I said, you don't suffer your people, man. The Lord, like I said, the Lord suffered us, man. And meaning like he put up with our BS, but he ain't gonna put up with our BS no more. Like I said, I don't know what man on earth will do this today, where you ignored him, called him a devil, and got him unalive. Told the white man on him, got him killed. He's suffering on the cross. They doing all manner of evils on the cross while he's up there taunting them and things like that. And you watching it, a black man get crucified so horribly, and he still said, "Forgive them. I know not what they do." Now, tell me why you don't like your brother. I bet you it ain't as greedy as at that. Tell me why you don't like your sister. Oh, some words that they said. Oh, she said this and that. He did this and that. Oh, he did. If they ain't nail you on no goddamn cross like they did Christ, forgive your brother. And listen, they got to do more than kill you, because we killed Christ and he forgave us. So what did they do to you? What that person do to you to where you can't forgive your brother? Because Christ could. Christ could. Christ could forgive, but you can't. And that's disgusting. All right. So let me get I'm gonna go to Leviticus. Oh yeah. Christians love to say neighbor is everybody. No, it's not. When Christ said love thy neighbor and love thy enemy, he was talking about your own people. And I'm gonna get it. Let's get Leviticus 19 and 17. All righty. Leviticus 19, verse 17. 19, verse 17, okay? Verse 19, verse 17. Thou shalt, hold on. Verse 19, verse 17. I'm gonna get it on here a little bit, Let me get So like, if anybody got any questions besides this, you don't. Hold on, man. This man said he loved me. If you love me, you'll be in here, brother. I'm gonna prove to y'all that people that say I love you is lying. If they're not with you, they're lying. They're absolutely not lying, and the truth ain't in them. You understand? If somebody said that they love you and they not rocking with you like that, they're lying. You know. But I appreciate the follow, though. You know, you could possibly love me if you get up in this truth. You know what I mean? If you get up in this truth, Jason, then I'll believe you. But right now, I can't believe you because, you know, you got to serve the Lord with me. You can't, you know what I mean? Once again, I'm proving that you got to try a friend first. You know what I mean? So let's get it. I'm gonna prove that your neighbor is talking about your own people. It's not talking about the white T man. It's not talking about, you know, the African man, the Asian man, this and that. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, you got to learn to love your own people, man. You know, you gotta know. Okay, so let's get 19 verse 17. You gotta know, you gotta listen. Let me tell y'all something, man. If by you not knowing who this Bible is for, everything that you know about the Bible is false because you don't, like, such as you don't know that Christ didn't die for everybody to get unalive. Like, Christ didn't get unalive for everybody. He only got unalive for the Lord's chosen people. Christ, you don't have to love everybody. You gotta love only Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. You gotta love the Lord's chosen people, which is Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. But once again, the Christianity tell you your neighbor is everybody. Your neighbor is the white man. First of all, my neighbor is only the white man because he took us and made us his neighbor. So if you think that that's talking about location, then listen. If you think that's talking about neighbors, listen, we neighbors with everybody. Everybody's neighbors on the earth, because you can walk there or either, you know, do this and that. So everybody's really neighbors. You know what I mean? Eventually, you'll be their neighbor. You just got to keep walking. But neighbor don't mean that. Neighbor mean in the context of love thy neighbor. It's talking about people. Why would he say love thy neighbor? So I gotta love. If somebody moved close, so you're gonna love Hitler if he moved close to you? You're not. You know what I mean? Neighbor means people. That's my neighbor. It's a person. It's not like a location. I'm gonna get it. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. All right. All right. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. So it's talking about a brother. This is the Levitical law. This is the law. You should not hate your brother in the heart, in your heart, in your mind. You should not hate your brother. You can't hate your brother. You got to love him. So who is this talking about? We know right now this is talking about only Israelites. It's not talking about everybody, because it said thy brother. It didn't say you should not hate anybody. It didn't say that. Why didn't it say that? It should have just said you should not hate. If this book is for everybody, but it don't say that. It only said your brother. And who is your brother? Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. We're all brothers and sisters. You understand? Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. Once again, now it went to the neighbor. So neighbor is your brother. Come on now. So stop trying to make me, love everybody. Neighbor is thy brother. You understand? And not suffer sin upon him. And don't wish nothing upon him. Don't do nothing to him. Because you know what I mean? Like, so okay, thou shalt not avenge. So once again, you should not avenge your brother. We got laws for that. Let the men of the Lord make those decisions or what happened to that person that do you wrong. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge. See, you ain't supposed to have no grudge against your brother. This is talking about your people, not everybody. Christianity lied to you. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. Once again, against thy people, not everybody. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Because once again, it said in context, it says the children of thy people. Now, I can have a grudge against the whitey man. I can have a grudge against the Africans that sold us to the whitey man. I can have a grudge against the Arabs that had a hand in slavery. I can do that because they not the children of thy people. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. You understand? So I don't want to hear none of that. Oh, you're supposed to love thy neighbor. Love thy neighbor. Love the whitey man while he hang you from tree to tree. No, not me, not I, not my people. So that's it on that. So we got that. Everybody clear on that? Your neighbor is your brother. Everybody clear on that? You don't gotta love the people that put you in slavery. Everybody clear on that? You can hold a grudge against them. There's no law against it. Everybody's clear on that? I know you're not, because I know the Christianity is so deep into your head that you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. But I'm gonna wake you up. Just stick around. Subscribe to the channel. All right. So let's get done with that. Let's get matter of fact, we might as well just go right into the matter of fact, I'm gonna just go here, man. We can get it. Anybody got any questions? Let me know. No, I don't. Not interested, dude. Enemies. I'm gonna get the enemy right because you Christians love to say love thy enemy. All right. You think you're supposed to love your enemy. Matthew 10. Let me get Matthew 10. Let me get Matthew 10 and let me get Matthew 10 and 36. All right. Matthew 10, verse 36. No, hold on. Verse 35. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and daughter against his mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man foes, which is enemies, shall be they of his own household. So your own foes is the ones that's of your own household. And those are the ones that the Lord told you to love. The Lord told you to love, the ones of your own household, your own people. Not the white tea man. The white tea man can go to hell for all I care and for all the Lord cares. Let me see. Right here, Matthew 5 and 44. Matthew 5. So let me get that. I should have went there first. My bad, y'all. I should have went there first. Matthew 5, verse 44. All right. Matthew 5, verse 44. Matthew 5, verse 44. But I say unto you, no, give to him that asketh thee. No, ye have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemy, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and prosecute you. You understand? And it's going to be your own people, because that's what was happening with Christ, coming and trying to save his people, and they prosecuting him, and they talk bad about him. They didn't love him. They was their enemy. They was enemy towards him. Judas sold him out. He would have forgave Judas if Judas didn't unalive himself. So that happened. So he said that in Matthew 5 or whatnot. And so but here it said love thy enemy there, and then in 10 and 36 it says, and a man foes enemies shall be of their own household. So that's who he told you to love. The enemies of their own household, not the white tea man. Not him. You ain't gotta love him. You don't. So let me get John chapter 15 and 13, if you will. You understand? John 15 and 13. John 15 and 13. Greater. All right. Verse 11. These things, this is John 15, verse 10. If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandment and abide in his love. This is what he's telling you, to love one another. So if you do that, then the Lord will love you. If you don't, then the Lord don't love you. These things have I spoken to you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that ye love one another, as I have loved you. Verse 13. Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you. So if you do what the Lord say do, and what the Lord say do, keep his commandments, keep the Father commandments, and keep his commandment. And you Christians don't do that. So you're not his friends. Let that sizzle in your spirit. Let it sizzle. You're not the Most High friend. Because you're not Christ's friend, because you don't do what he say do. You don't. You don't do what he say do. So That's what we got to understand. All right. I'm gonna read it again so it can sizzle in your spirit. All right. Hold on, let me see. 15. This is my commandment that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. So listen, that's real love. The ones that lay down his life for his friend. But what else you can lay down for your friend? Stop being a sinner. Stop eating shrimp, lobster, pork. Stop celebrating birthdays. Stop celebrating these pagan holidays. Stop being an alcoholic. Stop being a drug addict. If you get like you say you love your kids and your family, but you can't stop being an alcoholic. You can't stop being a person with attitude, angry all the goddamn time. That's deadly too. Just as you doing drugs, being a person that have anger issues. Because 1 minute you can be cool, and then the next you fly off the handles, and now you're in prison for life because you got an anger issue. You know, you don't want to. You wouldn't change. You don't want to change for. You don't want to change for nobody. But you say that you love your people. Lay that down then. Lay all those sins down. Let's see if you really love your people. Let's see if you really love your kids. If you lay that down. Because Lord knows you say that you will, I'll die, or I'll get unalive for my kids, I'll die for my kids, I'll do this and that for my kids. Well, would you stop smoking weed for your kids? Can you stop doing that? Can you stop being an alcoholic for your kids? That's drawing a line right there, right? Okay, then. Yeah, I get it. You don't want to kill that wicked spirit that's in you for your kids, but you willing to get unalive for your kids and crash out for your kids. No, you're just stupid. You understand? So we got that right. All right. Yeah, lay that down. A lot of people don't want to lay that down. A lot of people don't want to, come into the truth and give up that old man. Give that old man up. Lay him down. Lay him down to rest forever. You don't want to do that, but you say you love your kids, but you don't want to stop getting high for your kids. You're a liar. You don't want to stop. You say you love God, and you don't want to stop getting high for God. You tell God, hold on, God. I just need to keep on smoking real quick. I don't know when I'm going to quit. You say you love God, you should be able to quit. You say you love God, you should not eat pork. You know God hates that. You know God hates when you eat pork, shrimp, lobster. You don't want to give that up. Because you don't want to give that up for your people, for your kids, and for your brother. You don't want to come into the truth for your kids and your brother. But you say you love them. No, you don't. You're a liar, and the truth ain't in you. Because if you did love them, you will, you will stop sinning. If you love them, you will stop sinning. So you don't love your kids like you say you do. All right. So let me get Judges. I'm gonna tell y'all too, man. Stop being a coward under the white man, under the white T-man. Stop being a coward. Every time, some people is over us, we get real cowardly and want to sell out your people and tell us don't do this and don't do that. You know who's over us? You don't want us to teach the truth that the white T-man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, because you think that that's going to get us unalive, or you unalive, because they're going to think that, all black people are like that. So you know what you do? You run to the master and say, I'm not like that, master. I'm not like these Negroes up here. That's what you would have did to Christ. I'm not like Christ up here saying that, the Romans is, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because you do know that Christ was against the Romans, right? He wasn't rocking with them like how you think that he was. He wasn't rocking with white tea people like how you think he was. Christ didn't give it. Listen, Christ didn't give a damn about white tea people. Christ didn't love white tea people. He only loved blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. That's who he loved. Let me get Judges 15 and 10. All right, we're gonna get Judges 15 and 10. We're gonna get another, we gotta stop being cowards, for the white tea man. We gotta stop being cowards, man. Judges 15. Judges 15 and 10. Judges 15 and 10. Okay, I'm gonna get you the whole of what's going on here, right? This is Samson. Everybody knows Samson. He had long hair. He didn't have dreads in his head. Locks are not dreads, because anything that you can lock, you can unlock. You understand? This is the story of Samson and what he did at the time. We was under the Philistines, over there. We was under in captivity. This is a real story. We was in captivity, under the Philistines or whatnot. And Samson, he was a Nazarite from birth, which that means that he didn't drink alcohol and he lived a certain way other than everybody else. And he was strong, big, and he had sinned because he had fell in love with, Delilah, which is a daughter of the Philistines. So, and then she caused him to go way off. But I believe that that was all part of the Lord's plan to get the children out of captivity. Because at the end of that, he got them out of captivity because he fought so many Philistine people. And then the final last time when they captured him, or they didn't even capture him, our people sold him out. You know what I mean? So I'm going to read that. I'm going to jump to it. You know what I mean? And we're going to read it. Matter of fact, we got a little time. So I'm going to just read it. If y'all rocking with me, y'all rocking with me. You understand? And we're going to get a little, a little something on it, right? Okay. All right. All right. Verse 15. But it came to pass within a while after, in the time of wheat harvest, that Samson visited his wife with a kid. And he said, I will go into my wife into the chamber. But her father would not suffer him to go in. And her father said, I verily thought that thou hadst utterly hated her. Therefore I gave her to thy companion. Is not her younger sister fairer than she? Take her, I pray thee, instead of her. And Samson said concerning them, now shall I be more blameless than the Philistines, though I do them a displeasure. And Samson went and caught 300 foxes, and took firebrands, and turned tail to tail, and put a firebrand in the midst between two tails. So he tied in between the two tails of the foxes, he had something in there and it was lit on fire, which caused the foxes to run wild through the Philistines, harvest, in the midst between two tails. And when he had set the brands on fire, he let them go into the standing corn of the Philistines, and burnt up the shocks, and also the standing corn with the vineyard and olives. Then the Philistines said, who have done this? And they answered, Samson, the son-in-law of the Timnite, because he had taken his wife and given her to his companion. And the Philistines came up and burnt her and her father with fire. And Samson said unto them, though ye have done this, yet will I be avenged of you. And after that I will cease. And he smote them hip and thigh with a great slaughter. And he went down and dwelt in the top of the rock, Etam. Then the Philistines went up and pitched in Judah and spread themselves in Lehi. And the men of Judah said, why are you come up? So the Philistines came to the men of Israel, which is Judah, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, Judah was scared, talking about why you come up, you know what I mean? Like, you know, why are you come up against us? And they answered, to bind Samson. Are we come up to bind Samson? Are we come up to do to him as he done it to us? So they asked him for Samson. You understand? Then 3,000 men of Judah went to the top of the rock, Etam, and said unto Samson, knowest thou not that the Philistines are rulers over us? So they asked him, like, Samson, why you do that, man? Don't you know that they over us? Don't you know they powerful? They was weak, man. Listen, let me tell you something, man. They should have rolled with Samson. They would have been able to, it would have been a hell of a story. It would have been a hell of a story because they had 3,000 of them. They could have went and wiped them out. Samson did it by himself already. But you know what? They were scared. They didn't have brotherhood. You understand? And they sold them out. Hold on. We are come down to to bind thee, that they may deliver thee into the hand of the Philistines. And Samson said unto them, swear to me that ye will not fall upon me yourself. So he said to them, to his brother, don't kill me. Tell me that you ain't gonna kill me, man. Don't kill me. Don't kill me yourselves. And they spake unto him, saying, no, but we will bind thee fast and deliver thee into their hand. But surely we will not kill thee. And they bound him with 2 new cords and brought him up from the rock. Verse 14, and when he came into Lehi, the Philistines shouted against him, and the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and the cords that were upon the arms became as flax that was burnt with fire, and his bands loosed from off his hands. And he found a new jawbone of an ass, and put forth his hand, and took it, and slew 1,000 men therewith. And Samson said, with the jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps, with the jaw of an ass have I slain 1,000 men. And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking, that he cast away the jawbone out of his hand, and called the place Ramoth Leah. And he was sore athirst, and called on the Lord, and said, thou hast given this great deliverance into the hand of thy servant, and now shall I die for thirst, and shall fall into the hand of the uncircumcised. But God clave an hollow place that was in the jaw, and there came water thereout. And when he had drunk, his spirit came again, and he revived. Wherefore he called the name thereof En-Hakkore, which is in Lehi, until this day. And he judged Israel in the days of the Philistines 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So once again, man, I'm gonna just tell you, man, like, you know, don't be a sellout for heathens, man. Don't be a sellout. Don't be a cop for heathens. That's what I really wanted to bring out. Don't go join the police force and arrest, you know, blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. Don't be a security guard and arrest blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. You know, don't do that. Don't help them out. You know. Furthermore, join the I.S.U.P.K. Listen, we're going to be the judge over the people, especially when the police, when the phones ain't working no more. I'm gonna get one more last scripture, right? Matthew. Now, We know that neighbor is only talking about your people, right? Now I'm about to get who's your brother? What out of Christ's own mouth? Even your people sometimes are not your brother or your mother. You understand? Let me get it. Because y'all, I know y'all like, what? What is he talking about? Matthew 12, verse Matthew 12, verse 46. I'm gonna get what Christ told us. Christ said out of his own mouth, my mother, that Mary is not my mother. Meaning she birthed me, but so that's not my mother. And she birthed his brother, so that's not my brother. Who you supposed to choose over your brothers that you was born with and your mothers that you was born with? The people that's in the truth with you, the people that serve with you. They, they your brothers now. So let me get it 12 and 46. Let's get it. 12 and 46. All right. This is Matthew chapter 12, verse 46. Matthew chapter 12, verse 46. While he yet talked to the people, so Jesus Christ was at camp, Yahweh, he was at camp. While he was yet talking to the people, his mother and his brethren stood without, was out on the outside of the camp, waiting, and she's a black woman, I'm sorry, and he's a black man, because I know y'all think Mary and Jesus Christ is white. No, it's not. While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him. Verse 47. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said unto him that told him. So this is what they told him. Who is my mother? And who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren, for whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. Those are your people. You understand? So my mother ain't my mother. My mother's is in this truth. People that's in this truth. You understand? The ones that do the will of my Father. You understand? Because we on one accord. That's my family now. You know what I mean? I love them to death, But listen, if you ain't in here, you know what I'm saying? Then like it really ain't nothing, for us to talk about. Because I'm about my Father's business. You know what I mean? Let me get that, matter of fact. I'm about to get what Christ said to his own mother. Y'all thought, listen, Christ was a hardcore, even at a young age. He didn't play no games. Y'all think he was just a sweet little candy cane. You know what I mean? No. Y'all got any questions? Let me know. John 2 and 4. Let's get that, right? John 2 and 4. You're going to get John 2 and 4. All right. So this is, everybody know about the marriage and when Jesus turned water into wine, right? Of course, they about to get married, this and that, having a party, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And Mary, his mother, came to Christ. This is John chapter 2, verse 3. I'm going to get some context. And when they wanted wine, the mother of Jesus said unto him, they have no wine. Verse 4, Jesus said unto her, woman. First of all, he called her a woman. Let's get that clear. He called his mother a woman. He didn't say mother. Listen. Y'all think Christ was he's so adorable and sweet, and his love and compassion. Yeah, he got love. But it's hardcore love. It ain't gotta be, I don't have to be soft spoken and this and that to love you. I could be hardcore and love my people. Love, you know what I mean? Verse 4, Jesus said unto her, woman, what have I to do with thee? My hour is not yet come. You understand? So he told his mother that. And you also know why he said that? Because his mother wasn't the truth. He was just suffering her. You know what I mean? She wasn't the truth. But she wanted him to do everything that she told her, like to do wine. Now that I ain't saying like, yeah, but she raised, you know what I mean? The greatest man that walked the earth, you know what I mean? But like what I'm saying is like she wasn't the truth though. She wasn't with him, you know what I mean? Which is crazy. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. But I mean, it really wasn't nothing for her to do. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't like she can go teach and things like that. But she wasn't out of his own mouth. He said, who is my mother? Who is my father? The ones that do the will. So that means that she wasn't doing the will or something. You know what I mean? You gotta, hey, that's out of his own mouth. He definitely said that to his brother too. Because his brother, like I said, why his brother wasn't following him. Which is crazy. But you wanted him to do a miracle. That's what they want us to do. They don't want to rock with us, but they want us to, hey, keep doing y'all thing, man. I love what y'all doing out there. Keep doing what y'all do. But you don't want to get down with us. They ain't going somewhere, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anybody got any questions? Any questions at all? Let me know. You know what I mean? I can answer them the best of my ability. If I can't, I'll go back and come back to y'all and do what I gotta do to tell y'all the answer. All right. So for the most part, yeah. Neighbor ain't talking about your next door neighbor, because you could be living next to Jeffrey Dahmer, and not only because he's a unaliver, it's because he's a white T-man. You could be sitting next, you know what I mean? So that's neighbor means people. When the Lord said love thy neighbor, it's talking about people, not a location. Not a location. You know what I mean? It didn't say that. Shit, you go into the water, your neighbor could be a shark. You supposed to love that shark too? How you supposed to do that? So once again, I'm gonna open up the floor for some questions. I know y'all got some questions. I just ain't saying nothing. But yeah. So yeah, the Lord's chosen people is blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. The Most High told us to love one another, which is only your people. It ain't talking about everybody. You must only love your people, which is blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. So that's what we got to do, all right? Once we do that, we should be straight. We should be good. We should be all right. You know what I mean? So let's just get it right. Let's get it right. You know, let's get it right. And once we do that, we'll be all right. Any questions? I'm gonna stay on for a little minute. Y'all got any questions? Like I said, type of man, or this is the truth. Listen, the priests and prophets ain't gonna be here for long. You're looking at a priest and prophet of God. He ain't gonna be here for long. You ain't gonna be able to, get no questions answered, and you ain't gonna be able to get sealed. So you only got the time. Time is almost up. You know what I mean? Time is almost up, and you better wake up. You better wake up, man. So with that being said, y'all got no more questions? That's cool. You know, your neighbor is talking about your people. It ain't talking about everybody. You know, I just proved that in the Bible. Love, and when it says love thy enemy, it's talking about the people that's on your own household, your people. It ain't talking about the people that hanged you from tree to tree. You know. So with that, well, come learn the truth before it's too late. Come get right before it's too late. And you can only learn the truth and get right in the ISUPK. With that being said, shalom.